This is my persuasive speech for public speaking, and here's my audience. Imagine that there's a limit on the amount of water that you can use at home each day, or that you want to go swimming in a nearby river or lake because it's so hot outside from the frequent and severe heat waves, but you can't go swimming in a river or a lake because there's no longer enough water for us to use recreationally as well as still meeting human demands. These are a few issues that we could run into in the coming years if we don't make an effort to start living an environmentally friendly lifestyle, or in other words, going green. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how the way we live affects the environment, the potential consequences, as well as giving you a few tips on how you can get started with greener living. In my introduction speech, I mentioned that I would like to study environmental science in university, so as you can imagine, this is kind of an important topic to me. I've done my research and gathered my information from the United States Environmental Protection Agency's website. Between taking long showers and leaving the tap water on while brushing our teeth, the average American family uses around 300 gallons of water per day. And this is in addition to our community water usage, such as the water used by firefighters, public pools, or in our public water systems. The Earth seems like it has a lot of water for us to use, right? Well, the truth is less than 1% of that water is available for human use. The rest of it is either salt water, fresh water frozen in polar ice caps, or it's just inaccessible. Another issue that we have is climate change. The Earth's temperature has risen 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit in the past century, and it could continue to rise anywhere from 0.5 degrees all the way up to 8.6 degrees higher in the coming century. Humans are responsible for this climate change, and human activities such as burning fossil fuels to produce energy, deforestation, industrial processes, and some agricultural processes take a toll on the environment. These activities release greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide into the environment. These gases then act as a blanket around the Earth, and they trap energy in the atmosphere, which causes it to become warmer. Another issue is the pesticides that we use during food production to control insects, bacteria, rodents, and weeds. Those can leave residues on the foods that we can consume. And additionally, these substances can make their way into the ground after being used on agricultural crops, on lawns and in gardens, and they can contaminate water sources as well as our drinking water. All of these issues will have consequences if we don't start changing our lifestyles. Water prices could increase to make sure that we have a safe supply. Water restrictions could occur, most likely in the summer to manage any shortages. Or if it gets really bad, we could have limited access to recreational areas such as the lakes and rivers that I mentioned earlier. On a trip to Oregon last year, I actually experienced this firsthand. We were driving by a lake, and because of the drought that they were going through, the lake's water levels were so low that it almost appeared to be completely dried up in some areas. The consequences of climate change could include an increase or decrease in rainfall, which will in turn affect the agricultural crop yields, and it will also affect forests and ecosystems. Rising temperatures will also affect our overall health and safety. As for the pesticides that are used during food production, these toxic substances are harmful to organisms that live in contaminated water. And they're toxic to us if we consume them through our food and water. So now that you know more about how the way we live affects the environment and the consequences that can come from it, I'm going to talk to you about some changes that can be made to save the environment. We can be more mindful and use our water more efficiently. For example, just turning off the tap water while brushing our teeth or shaving can save water. Also keeping in mind that taking showers instead of baths uses less water, as long as you're paying attention to how long you're in the shower. While doing dishes, plugging the sink or water basin will save water, and if you're using a dishwasher, make sure that you've filled up all the space that you can so that you can do fewer loads. Instead of using a garbage disposal, maybe consider composting food waste. This not only saves energy, it also saves the environment. Compost enriches soil and helps to retain moisture and suppress plant and pest diseases. It also encourages the production of beneficial bacteria and fungi that will break down organic matters and create a rich, nutrient-filled material called humus. These are just a few strategies, and if you want to learn more about how you can live an environmentally friendly lifestyle, then check out the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's website. Going green will make life easier and more pleasant in the future, and it is important that we make these changes before it's too late. Today I talked to you about how the way we live affects the environment, the potential consequences, and went through a few tips on how you can get started with greener living. Hopefully you learned something new and are excited to make a difference. Thank you.